Welcome everyone, I'm Jillian McKenzie. Today I will be reviewing a strategic proposal based on an analysis of your consulting firm during their assignment at HGS. First, we will review the contents of the analysis. We will then review the stakeholders, constraints present, discuss strategies and frameworks, and review inter-firm relationships. Finally, I will present your team with recommendations for improvement. HGS, a specialty chemical company, requested that your firm assist them in evaluating options for their new chemical technology, Plastaware. The main focus was to identify why they were unable to move ahead with the use of Plastaware following their invention 3 years prior, despite their success in prototyping a shirt with the technology. The shirt is comparable to $400 custom shirts, wears forever, never stains, never needs ironing. The shirt estimated to retail for $60 or $70, with their custom tailored shirts selling at $150 or $160. The consulting team had to determine what business the corporation should be in and how to allocate resources, ultimately leading to a solution. According to the article by Grant Savage, Strategies for Assessing and Managing Organizational Stakeholders, stakeholders are classified into 4 types: supportive, mixed blessing, non-supportive, and marginal. We will identify the stakeholders in your firm during the assignment, beginning with the consulting team. The team consisted of Ken McCombs, team director, and employees Justin Campbell, Livia Chambers, Vivek Chatterjee, and Gordon Lee. Your team is identified as supportive stakeholders. Supportive stakeholders are typically managed through involvement and should be allowed to be involved in relevant issues. The team members are influenced by the executives of your firm, and you have a potential to maximize their cooperation. According to the analysis, their overall management needs improvement, as there were multiple issues amongst the team. The client, HGS, is identified as a mixed blessing stakeholder. Grant Savage states that this type of stakeholder plays a major role and they have a high potential to either threaten or to cooperate. These stakeholders are managed through collaboration, and overall, they were managed well by the team. The other 2 types of stakeholders were unidentified by your consulting team, but they are your non-supportive stakeholders or competitors and marginal stakeholders or shareholders. Non-supportive stakeholders are high on potential threat but low on potential cooperation. They are also the most distressing for an organization and its managers and are typically managed through defense, according to Savage. Marginal stakeholders are neither highly threatening nor especially cooperative. Despite their stake in the organization and its decisions, they are generally not concerned about most of your issues. This type of stakeholder is managed through monitoring. Your firm faced a number of constraints during their assignment at HGS. Communication issues were apparent throughout the team, including manager-employee, manager-supervisor, supervisor-employee, and employee-employee. They also suffered in the effectiveness of their communication. This was apparent during multiple conversations between Ken and Justin and discussions among the team. Your firm lacked organization, as they did not have a set meeting schedule or identified employee assignments. This occurred throughout their case on multiple occasions and added stress to their accelerated timelines. Gordon revealed on the first day of the case that he was working on multiple assignments at once, which would be limiting his focus on HGS. He stated, "I thought I was going to be done with my last project, but some things are beginning to unravel. I may need to spend a little more time than I expected with that team over the next week." Livia's response was, "Just keep us informed. We should be able to work around your schedule as long as we manage expectations well." It was identified in the beginning of the case that Justin completed a brief orientation the week before joining your team in the field. However, he was not provided a mentor and struggled with his role in the team. Ethical constraints were also identified in the analysis. The team director, Ken McCombs, released information regarding his personal relationship with Carl Switzer, the CEO of HGS. There was also an issue related to trust, as Livia shared details of her conversation with Justin to Ken. Business strategy, defined by Kasahara as methods to realize an achievable business goal that has been set based on the situation analysis. The team identified a number of strategies utilized during their case, including differentiation, global, and market expansion. Ken presented the team with a briefing of Plastaware prior to the first HGS firm meeting. Plastaware is a new technology that was produced by HGS, which is actually a fabric, not plastic. It is described as wrinkle-free, soft to the touch, and easy to cut and sew. HGS, a specialty chemical company, has never ventured into this market before, hence why they requested the assistance of your firm. During the case, it was also identified that global strategies and market expansion were being considered. The team discussed multiple global markets, including Mexico and China. According to Porter, when addressing the move to a global market, the 5 forces are identified and then must be evaluated to determine the success of the market in which they choose to enter. This will provide insight to defining the relevant industry in which a company competes, as well as reveal the drivers of industry competition. Scott Beckett began utilizing the 5 forces frameworks in his interview as he stated that Plastaware's 5 forces could be reviewed as high rivalry, no barriers to entry, lots of substitutes, powerful buyers, and powerful suppliers. Justin struggled with the application of the framework and was informed by your team director, Ken McCombs, that using 5 forces to evaluate the attractiveness of an industry doesn't tell us very much about strategic choice. As the HGS team began to discuss Plastaware, Beckett expressed his opinion regarding not getting into the shirt business. He felt that they were a specialty chemical firm and needed to focus on what they do best and guard their core. Beckett and Albright discussed the core competence of HGS, leading Justin to expand his thinking of the true meaning of core competence. Core competencies should provide potential access to a wide variety of markets, make a significant contribution to the perceived customer benefits of the end product, and be difficult for competitors to imitate. According to Pralad and Hamill, Beckett and Albright required additional guidance to identify the true core competence of the business. The inter-firm relationship existed between HGS and your consulting firm. This relationship has identifying characteristics such as social capital, which is enhanced over time through positive interaction and collaboration and shared interests. There is also apparent cooperation between the firms as there were incentives to perform, such as long-term client-firm relationships. The leading reason for firms to build relationships is the business value that relationships create and leading to desired outcomes. Some desired outcomes in inter-firm networks are individual in nature, such as Ken and Carl working together and having a personal friendship. Now that we have reviewed the analysis of your firm, I will now present you with my recommendations for improvement. Beginning with training, I recommend that you reconsider your current training programs. As Justin struggled during his assignment with Ken's team, I believe that a more in-depth orientation and mentorship would have allowed him to be better prepared, leading to a higher level of success. Your employees are your most important asset, so I recommend that you focus on attracting, retaining, and developing top talent, as well as providing continuing learning and development opportunities. My next recommendation is to improve communication amongst your firm. The team presented multiple examples of failure to communicate, including Gordon's need to finish another assignment, Olivia's disclosure of information, Ken's communication styles with employees, particularly Justin, and Justin's failure to communicate with the team, resulting in duplication of work. By providing the team with a consistent structure of communication, as well as required team meetings, the team will be able to utilize communication strategy framework successfully. My next recommendation is for leadership, as it was apparent throughout the case that Ken struggled with specific leadership skills. In order to capitalize on an employee's unique abilities, Buckingham proposes 3 tactics. Continuously tweak roles to capitalize on individual strengths, pull the triggers that activate employees' strengths, and tailor coaching to unique learning styles. Ken's communication and leadership skills were confusing to Justin throughout the assignment at HGS, often leading him to believe that his performance was appropriate. It is important that while Kim employs tough empathy, that he also utilizes appropriate timing and course of action, as well as balancing respect for his employees and the task at hand. The last recommendation that I have for you is to increase time management. Onken and Wass suggest that the team make appointments to deal with issues, specific initiatives, and agree on status updates. Utilizing the rapid model will also allow the team to determine who is making decisions for tasks, eliminating tug-of-war issues between the team. An example of this issue was when Justin was a Lone Ranger, but then stated that he wanted to take credit for the task. Finally, by allocating capital and talent appropriately, the team will save time and provide for quicker responses to the client. Implementation of these recommendations will lead to increased teamwork and efficiency among your firm. At this time, I will address any questions that you have related to the analysis or recommendations.